A few miles from downtown Chattanooga, an observatory on North Tuxedo Drive has reached for the stars for decades. Built during the Great Depression, it is owned and operated by our campus, the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. This past semester, Miller Richardson, a student in UTC's Department of Communication, paid a visit for a podcast series.
The University of Tennessee at Chattanooga is the proud owner of the Clarence T. Jones Observatory. Its purpose is to bring the universe to Chattanooga to engage students, inspire change, and enrich the community. I'm joined today by Kevin Hahn, an adjunct professor at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Could you tell me a bit about the observatory and its history?
It was built in 1936, and it was built for the local school system. So at the time, which is interesting because it was done during the Depression, 100% built for education and for inspiring our local students, because it wasn't part of UTC until 1944. It was actually gifted to the University of Chattanooga back then. But when it was built, it was for the local school system. So it was all the elementary schools would come visit and so forth. That's what it was for. It wasn't built to do big astronomy things where it's closed off to the public and it's very specialized for whatever they were interested in at the time. It was so kids can go look through a telescope, or adults too. It's for educate, but can look through a telescope and learn about the night sky. And that's what it was for. And it's still doing that 90 years later.
Tell me a bit about this fundraiser currently going on, the goal of cutting down some foliage to create better views of the night sky.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees have been growing around it since it was built. It's kind of on a remote hilltop, little knob back in the 1930s where there was nothing around at the time. But now it's kind of hidden behind these almost 100-year-old trees, and nobody, even people that live near down the road and a couple streets over, don't even know it's there. Even just trimming the trees, topping them. There's some that are overhanging the building just as from a safety standpoint and stuff. You do that. That's just stuff you normally do anyways. But there are enough around that unfortunately it's obscuring I love trees, but just to trim them back some enough that we can have a better view of the sky. Because right now we're extremely limited. So we've got a fundraiser going, try to help take care of that. So we can offer more to the public too, and to the students that are out there right now. Instead of seeing a third of the sky, we might be able to see 3/4 of it.
How important do you think experiences like the ones at the observatory are for students or individuals who are interested in astronomy or maybe wanting to go into it or are simply curious about the night sky?
I think it's incredibly important. I think about what got me into geology was seeing lava flowing from a volcano into an ocean on the Big Island of Hawaii. I changed my entire direction of what I wanted to do because I saw that one thing. I had exposure to that part. As an astronomer, astronomy hobby, I bought my first telescope because I saw a comet in the 1990s called Hale-Bopp. Other things that I've been exposed to since then, including places like an observatory like this. I think that place that has so many things between the history of it, because I like looking at planets.
Exactly.
And learning about these things that you walk outside and see every day, but you don't really understand. And this place kind of brings that together and allows for that communication and knowledge to people. From the limited time in the less than a decade being there, seeing people coming back now and the spark in people, and they walk out of the planetarium show and they're like, oh man, that was cool. Can we come back, Mom? That's why we go, and that's why we do this, and it's so cool. And this place really kind of facilitates that.
Are there any events that you host yourself?
We have 2 public events. Every second Saturday of the month, we always have one at Harrison Bay State Park. It's usually right before sun goes down, we'll all set up, and it could be up to a dozen or more telescopes by members. We bring all different shapes and sizes. Some are for visually looking through. Nowadays, we have really fancy cameras that we can attach to them where we can have families stand around and watch, and it's really good. Some people have a really hard time seeing through a telescope, or if you can project it on a screen. So we have those star parties there every month, second Saturday at Harrison Bay State Park.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for joining.
You're welcome.
For those looking to get involved with the Barnard Astronomical Society here in Chattanooga, you can head to barnardastronomy.org. And for those looking to gain more information about the Clarence T. Jones Observatory, you can head to utc.edu and head to the Chemistry and Physics page to find more information there. Or you can search for them on Facebook and Instagram at Clarence T. Jones Observatory.